Hi friends, welcome to Whisper and Learn channel, where you practice English and learn important life lessons. Every video has a story to help you improve your listening skills. These stories are simple, clear, and perfect for beginners. Learning English doesn't have to be hard. With stories, it's fun and easy. Are you ready to listen, learn, and grow? Let's start the story together now.
It was a quiet evening in a small town. The sun was setting, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. The streets were calm, with only a few people hurrying home. In an old bookshop on the corner, Anna was busy cleaning shelves. She loved her job. The smell of old books, mixed with the faint scent of wood polish, made her feel happy and peaceful. The shop was her safe place, a little world filled with stories and dreams. Anna moved to the back of the shop, where the shelves were stacked high with dusty books. She hummed softly to herself as she dusted the edges of the books. Suddenly, as she pulled one book off the shelf, something slipped out and fell to the floor. Startled, Anna bent down to pick it up. It was a yellowed envelope, tucked inside the pages of the book. She turned the envelope over in her hands. The paper felt fragile, as if it had been sitting there for years. On the front, in neat handwriting, were the words, "To my love." Anna's curiosity sparked. She hesitated for a moment, then carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a letter written in beautiful cursive. As Anna read it, her heart softened. The letter was full of sweet and romantic words. It spoke about love, dreams, and promises, a deep and enduring love. But there was no signature, no full name, only the initial M at the bottom. Anna's thoughts raced. Who wrote this letter, she wondered. Who was it meant for? She read it again, feeling the emotions of the writer as if they were her own. The words were heartfelt and sincere, full of hope and longing. The letter stayed with her, even as she finished her work and locked up the shop. That evening, Anna couldn't stop thinking about the letter. She sat at her small kitchen table, the letter spread out in front of her. This letter was written with so much love, she thought. It's too special to stay hidden in an old book. I have to find out who it belongs to. The next day, Anna brought the letter to her boss, Mr. Jenkins. "Do you know where this book came from?" she asked, holding up the book where she had found the letter. Mr. Jenkins adjusted his glasses and frowned. "Let me think," he said. "We get so many donations, it's hard to remember. But I believe this one came from a big collection last year. Someone donated a box of books after a house was cleared out." Anna's heart sank. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was something. She thanked Mr. Jenkins and decided to take the book home. That night, she sat in her cozy living room and examined the envelope again. In the corner was a faint, faded address. The ink was barely readable, but she could just make it out. Maybe this address can help me find the writer or the person it was meant for, Anna thought. It was an old address from her town, not far from where she lived. The next morning, she decided to visit the address. She tucked the letter into her bag and set out, her heart beating with a mix of excitement and nerves. The address led Anna to a small house on the edge of town. The house looked empty. The paint was peeling, the windows were dusty, and the garden was overgrown with weeds. Anna walked up to the front door and knocked gently. There was no answer. She waited a moment, then knocked again. Still, no one came. Disappointed, Anna turned to leave. As she walked down the path, a neighbor came out of a nearby house. The woman, an older lady with kind eyes, called out to her. "Are you looking for someone?" she asked. Anna hesitated, then held up the letter. "I found this. It has this address on it. Do you know who lived here?" The woman nodded slowly. That house belonged to Mary and her husband, Michael. Mary passed away many years ago. Michael moved to the city after she died. I haven't seen him in a long time. Anna's heart ached. She thanked the neighbor and walked home, holding the letter tightly in her hand. The story of Mary and Michael made her even more determined. This letter was part of their love story, and she wanted to return it to Michael. She didn't know how, but she promised herself she would try. That night, Anna sat down at her computer and began her search for Michael. She typed his name, her town, and any details the neighbor had shared into the search engine. At first, the results were overwhelming, pages upon pages of irrelevant information. But Anna was persistent. She sifted through articles, obituaries, and social media profiles, hoping for a clue. After hours of searching, something caught her eye. An article about an artist named Michael Reynolds, who had grown up in her town and now lived in Chicago. The article described him as a painter whose work was deeply personal, often inspired by his memories and emotions. Anna's pulse quickened. Could this be the same Michael? The next morning, Anna called the gallery mentioned in the article. A polite receptionist answered, "Good morning. This is the Reynolds Gallery. How can I help you?" "Hi, my name is Anna," she began nervously. "I'm looking for Michael Reynolds. I think I might have something that belongs to him. The receptionist hesitated. Mr. Reynolds doesn't usually take direct calls, but I can pass along a message. May I ask what this is about? Anna explained the story of the letter, trying to keep her voice steady. The receptionist seemed intrigued and promised to share the message with Michael. Two days later, Anna received an email. It was from Michael himself. Dear Anna, thank you for reaching out. Yes, I lived in that house. The letter you described sounds very familiar. It's possible it's something I wrote many years ago. Could we meet? I would love to hear more about how you found it, and thank you in person. Sincerely, Michael Reynolds. Anna's hands trembled as she read the email. She replied quickly, suggesting a time and place. Michael agreed to meet her at a cafe in Chicago. The day of the meeting, Anna felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She took the train to Chicago, the letter safely tucked in her bag. The cafe was cozy, with soft music playing and the smell of fresh coffee in the air. Anna arrived early and found a seat by the window. When Michael walked in, she recognized him immediately. He was an older man, tall and thin, with silver hair and kind eyes. He smiled as he approached her table. Anna? He asked. Yes, she said, standing to shake his hand. It's so nice to meet you. They sat down, and Anna carefully handed him the letter. Michael held it as if it were something fragile and precious. He opened the envelope and read the words he had written so long ago. Tears filled his eyes. I wrote this for Mary, he said softly. She was my wife. We used to leave each other letters like this all the time. I thought this one was lost forever. Anna's heart ached for him. I'm so glad I could bring it back to you, she said. Michael smiled through his tears. You don't know how much this means to me. Thank you for not giving up. They spent hours talking. Michael shared stories about Mary, their love, and the life they had built together. Anna listened, feeling like she was part of something bigger than herself. The letter had connected them, bridging time and loss. When Anna returned home that evening, she felt a sense of fulfillment she couldn't quite explain. The letter had brought not only closure, but also a new connection. Sometimes she realized even the smallest acts of kindness can lead to something extraordinary. Months later, Anna received another letter from Michael. This time, it was addressed to her. The envelope was thick, and inside was a handwritten note accompanied by a photograph. Michael's letter began with warm gratitude. Dear Anna, I hope this finds you well. The letter you returned to me has been a source of unexpected inspiration. It brought me back to memories of Mary and our shared life, and it reminded me of the enduring power of love, even across time and loss. Since our meeting, I have been working on a series of paintings inspired by the letter you found. I've titled the series, Letters of Love. Each piece reflects not just my story, but also the stories of countless others whose lives are touched by love in all its forms. I've enclosed a photo of one of the paintings, and I'd like you to have it when the exhibit concludes. It is because of you that this project exists. Thank you, Anna, for being the bridge between past and present. Warm regards, Michael Reynolds. Anna unfolded the photograph carefully. The painting depicted a table with a single, weathered envelope resting on it. Around the envelope were faint, dreamlike images of hands reaching out, words flowing across the canvas like whispers. It was hauntingly beautiful, filled with depth and emotion. Tears welled in Anna's eyes. She traced the edges of the photograph, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. The simple act of finding the letter had created something extraordinary. It had connected two strangers, brought back cherished memories, and inspired art that would touch countless others. Anna placed the photograph on her mantle, next to the letter. Every time she looked at it, she was reminded of the power of small actions and the magic of unexpected connections. In her heart, she knew, sometimes, the smallest things can change your life in the biggest ways.
Thank you so much for watching today's story. We hope you enjoyed practicing your English with us. Remember, every day is a chance to improve your skills. Keep listening to English stories and learning life lessons. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell so you never miss a new story. We can't wait to see you in the next video. Keep learning, stay positive, and see you soon.